Okay, so now on this video, I know we've talked about this subject many times. So um, this is just a recurring thing which you find 307 mean Pojo, uh, even 301 as well. It could also happen on any other Pojo, especially the modern ones. So most times your ABS issue, your transmission, automatic transmission issue, your ESP issue, your power steering issue, your air conditioning system issue, they are all related to your alternator. That's mistake most people make. They assume that everything you have to just because your alternator is charging does not mean it's charging very well. So once it starts to go above 14 volts, chances are you are going to start having issues with either one or all these components or systems, not the components, all these systems I mentioned, or could even go beyond that. Your electrical systems most times cannot handle anything more than 14 volts. It could, but like I said, depending on these vehicles I mentioned, they tend to have issues once they start going above 14 volts. So my advice, when some of these issues come up, you need to diagnose properly. Most time when you put a scan tool on the ECUs of these systems I mentioned, you always get overcharging issues, fault. Could be either one or most time all of them. Always have at the back of your mind that alternator can cause this. Like I said, people only assume that once it's charging, there's no fault with the alternator or no issue with the alternator. Charging doesn't mean it's good or charging well. That is not draining your battery doesn't mean your alternator is good. So overcharging can actually affect especially these modern vehicles. This one you're looking at on the screen was a vehicle I diagnosed. 301. Same issue was doing all kinds of things, messing up the transmission, messing up the power steering, electric power steering, messing up the ABS, um, the AC, cutting it off on and on, once the charging starts to go much higher. At the point, like two times, we'll be showing this 15 point something volts. Uh, but I believe as the vehicle is in motion, after a while, it might even go beyond 15 volts, probably 16, 17, who knows. There are 307 I've also diagnosed that have similar issues. Sometimes it could be there are some symptoms that could even make it more pronounced that is alternator. For example, um, the no ABS fault, nothing, but as soon as you accelerate the car, boom, it will give you the ABS warning fault or ESP warning fault or power steering warning fault. Like I said, it's not limited to these cars I mentioned, even 407 or thereabouts. It's just I'm here to come across 407 with some respect because alternators are, it's not, I can't say alternators in 407 cannot overcharge. But they are not known for that. But then remember, some alternators you find in 407 are similar to the one in 307, like the 307 with 2.0 liter engine. At least they have like 120 amps alternator, which you find on EW10J for engines in 407. So, um, I'll, if I were you, have this multimeter. I've preached about this many times. Um, so you just have to have this multimeter, which I recommend digital multimeter. Have it, it will help you a lot to narrow your diagnosis better. Imagine you will be changing everything, changing your ABS block, changing your ABS transmission, automatic transmission ECU, tinkering with your fuse box, doing all kinds of things. If you have plugged this thing, it simply will tell you your alternator is the cause. The people don't, So this is the average voltage you're supposed to get: 14.2, 14.3, even 14.5. That's the average for a good working alternator for at least that particular vehicle system. And the best way of testing it, like this one you are seeing on the screen, it was tested with engine running, AC on, the fan, the electric engine cooling fan spinning, headlight on, radio on, even the wiper also on, and it was still reading at 14 volts. And of course, initially when we started the car without this thing, it was showing like 14.4, 44 volts or thereabout. But as soon as you add load, the more load you add to the alternator to drop it down to the battery, they call it the alternator. Once the engine starts, basically your alternator is running the vehicle at that time, anything electrical. So at that time, eventually it dropped to 14.25 voltage. So yeah, you say this is a good healthy alternator. This was the previous alternator that was there. This was what it was showing. But when it was now alternator was replaced, this is the one mounted. They started reading this. The only thing I would say is there are sometimes you get a used alternator, mount it, um you might not be able to get up to that 14 volts. Let's just say 14 volts. Even though the ampage or the capacity probably is the recommended one for the vehicle, like 12, 120 amps, 80 amps, 90 amps, 150 amps, you know, or even 50 amps. It could be the recommended capacity for the vehicle systems with that engine and transmission. But still, uh, probably you start the vehicle, be reading 14 volts or a little bit close. You start switching on the gadgets, start adding load, it will drop to like maybe 13.5 volts. Normally for me, I always see it like, yeah, alternator is still working, but no, started going down a little. Then there are cases where it's not even about alternator's weakness. No, they are not weak, except that the capacity of the alternator is too low for the vehicle you mounted it. If you put the alternator, if you put a 90 or 80 amps alternator on a vehicle that's meant to run with 120 or 150 amps alternator, when you start the engine, of course, the voltage might not even get to 14 volts. Then as soon as you put on all this heavy load, the fan comes up, the blower, this headlight, it might even drop less than 13 volts. So in that case, it's not alternator issue, it's the application issue. You applied it wrongly. So that's where I'll put it. Have this multimeter, use it carefully, buy the recommended capacity for your vehicle with terms of alternator, and you'll be surprised that most of these electrical issues will be eliminated or drastically reduced. So that's the best I can. I'm not saying all the ABS issue is caused by overcharging alternator or your transmission issues or AC issues. No, that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying have it properly diagnosed to rule out your alternator. This is the easiest thing to do before you start to go through other ones. You might not even need to pull your that's your scan to put this one and confirm the alternator is charging well. Then you can proceed with your scan tool, which will take a little bit more time to plug in and get the process running than this one that is very easy and sharp. However, you can still plug the scan tool and it will tell you whether your alternator is overcharging or undercharging. Yeah, because undercharging of the system can do that. If your alternator is not charging properly, it's undercharging. Yeah, all these symptoms I mentioned will still happen. All those systems I mentioned that will start having issues, those symptoms will still happen. So undercharging, overcharging, both are not good for your modern podium vehicle electrical systems. even the older ones. But then the older ones, as long as it's reading more than 12.5 volts, they will run. I'm talking about those ones 504, 505, 404. They will run. 12.5. The only thing is, if you put on your headlights, yeah, it might start to affect your battery. But at least let it come up to 12.8, 12.7 volts. You won't have any problem. But then running with your AC, you need to get alternator that will push you close to 14 or at least above 13 volts. I mean, the reason why I'm kind of giving these older project cars a pass in terms of uh, lower voltage is because they actually don't have much to in terms of electrical to run the vehicle with. So anything, like I say, anything more than 12.5 volts can you'll be surprised. We run very well. It can take you to places, journeys or distance, you'll be surprised without battery draining down or having any um shutdown issue with your ignition issue or stuff like that. So um unless the alternator really is that bad or your battery is weak. Uh, but it might not be charging the battery very well, but enough to keep the engine running and enough to crank it the next time you want to start the car. But for modern cars, wow, by the time the power, what's it called, electric fuel pump, you'll be surprised how much power electric fuel pump draws from your alternator or your battery. Quite a lot, probably even higher than your fan. This it doesn't even draw much power like that. Your compressor, what can draw more power is your engine cooling system fan. Draws more power most times than your AC compressor. The blower as well draws some power, may not be as much as your engine cooling fan. All these things, your radio, all these gadgets they are putting on modern cars that people prefer. Hey, it consumes power. And the bigger the alternator you mount, understand that no, not necessarily the bigger the alternator, the more functions you introduce or electronics you introduce on a vehicle, the more demand required from the alternator to provide, the more you need to provide to carry all these things. Sometimes you might actually need to upgrade your alternator. So let's assume the car by factory or stock is 120 amps and you start introducing so many gadgets, electronics gadgets that need more voltage to run power to run those things. So the 120 amp might not be enough anymore. You must start to drain your battery. So in that case, you might need to upgrade it to maybe 150 amps alternator to be able to carry all those things. So the more electric car is good, but then it has its own price you have to pay. Okay, so that's all I have.